Welcome to the Kingdom Hairstylist Podcast. This is your host, Billie Jean. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Kingdom Hairstylist Podcast. This is your host. My name is Billie Jean, and I'm just so happy to be back this week. I'm always excited when I get on here and speak. I have been in the gym trying to get myself right, trying to get back on track because it's been so many months since I've been. But I feel good. I have a lot of energy because I've been so tired lately. And I have been praying and asking God, like, what do I need to do? Because I just feel so sluggish. And then, talking to a couple of clients, they were like, well, maybe you should, take some supplements or, take something so that you can have some energy. But as I was, praying about it and kept praying about it, God was telling me two things. One, I definitely need to drink more water. My skin is breaking out really, really bad. That was the first sign. And then the lack of energy was the second sign. But I'm glad that he confirmed that I definitely need to drink more water and then also to exercise. So the thing that I love about God the most is the fact that he really cares about, your body. It is a temple and it is, the body that he gave us, and we do have to treat it right. And I know it's hard sometimes because, we just get so busy and caught up with life. And then, we might have a little bit of stress because we're dealing with husbands and kids and jobs and just everything that might have you feeling a certain kind of way. So, it just feels good to pray about things and then get answers. And a lot of times the answer doesn't come how you think it's going to come. So it's like you really have to pay attention to the things that you're praying about and then, paying attention to the answers that come. So I'm just excited that I heard that from God so that I can stay on track because I know that I want to keep my body healthy, and I know that I don't like the tired feeling. It's like I would get between 6 and 8 hours of sleep and then wake up so exhausted, like I never even went to sleep. So if you're experiencing that, that's definitely something you want to take a look at, is your water intake, and are you exercising? Are you really getting enough? Even if you just take a walk, that's a good start. When I get back in the gym after I've been gone for months, the first thing I try to do is cardio, just try to get my heart going and just sweat and just feel good when you leave the gym. So pray for me, y'all, that I stay and keep it up. I'm talking about it on here so that people can hold me accountable for it, because it's one of the things that I struggle with the most. But that's not what I'm on here to talk about today. I wanted to talk about how I've been just experiencing God on this walk with him. It's just been amazing, 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 amazing. I just wanted to share my journey because I know that I'm not the only one who experiences God on a daily basis, but I think more so now I've been experiencing him a whole lot more because I've been actually paying attention to where he is at work in my life. And that's important for all of us to do, because we will listen to the lies of the enemy so much. He'll have us thinking that God don't love us. God is not going to promote us. He's not going to provide for us. He doesn't even like us. He, just all these crazy things that we listen to on a daily basis. And it's important to, just fight those lies with the truth. And of course, the best way to do it is to read the Bible. But if you're not there yet, because let's just say you're not there. Let's just say you're not the type of person that's going to sit there and read the Bible. Some people just don't read it. So if you're not there yet, then you still have to look for ways that God is in your life so that you can want to get closer to him and grow closer with him. So I just wanted to give some background on how I even became close to God the way that I have. I got baptized very young. I got baptized, I think, maybe at 11 years old. I was either 11 or 12. I had been going to church. The earliest that I can remember was 5, but I'm sure I was, going way before that. But I have memories of when I was 5 in church, in a choir, the kids' choir and things like that. But at 11, I decided for myself that I wanted to be baptized. So I was very young. I really didn't know what I was doing, but I knew that I saw a lot of people getting baptized, and I just figured I'm supposed to get baptized as well. We learned about it in the children's Bible study, and we did learn about Jesus and about getting baptized and stuff like that. So I decided that I wanted to get baptized at 11. So I'm only sharing this because I know that a lot of us have those childhood memories of being in church and not really wanting to be there and not really knowing what was going on and just going because you had to go. And if you had a grandmother like mine's, it wasn't even an option. You just had to get up and go every single Sunday, dressed up with your little ruffled socks on and your little dress and your bows. Or if you was a guy, you had on a too big suit, I'm sure, with some shiny shoes or whatever it was. But I'm joking about it, but that's the foundation. So I was 11 years old when I got baptized. Like I said, I really didn't know what I was doing, but I did feel some sort of relationship with God. I did feel like I knew him because I had been going since I was so young and learning about him in the children's Bible study. And I do remember, the whole process of getting baptized and going under the water and then coming out and just like literally feeling different. I mean, I couldn't explain it because I was 11, but what I do know is that I do remember the Holy Spirit speaking to me throughout my life after that. And I really didn't know that it was him until I got grown. You know what I mean? It was like I had no idea because they didn't really, they probably said it, but I probably didn't understand it at that age. But I remember doing things like going in different stores and stealing like candy or whatever, and just feeling convicted. Like the Holy Spirit would tell me like, put that back, or basically you gonna get in trouble. But I thought it was just me talking to myself, so I didn't really understand. But it's crazy how, you just remember these things as you get older, but I didn't know what was going on as I was young, and I didn't share with anybody because I wasn't supposed to be stealing. I wasn't supposed to be doing all the bad stuff that I was doing, so I couldn't tell my grandmother. She would have been like, oh, that's what you get, and, she would have confirmed that it was the Holy Spirit, but I would have got in trouble. So I just kept a lot of stuff to myself, and I really didn't know how to build a relationship with God because I was just so scared of him. Like the way that people talked about him in church just made it seem like you just not supposed to do this, not supposed to do that. But they don't really tell you about the goodness of God. Like they don't really tell you about how he still loves you even when you do some of the most crazy things in the world, and that you can talk to him and have a relationship with him. So I didn't, do none of that until I got, grown, old enough to have a relationship on my own with God. But I titled today's message, All Cried Out, because I have literally been crying every single day since I decided to trust God and be obedient. And more so now because, I just went through the loss of my father. So some days I'm crying because I'm grieving still. I didn't really grieve when everything first happened because I just had to keep going and keep, being busy. And so now it's starting to hit me more, where I feel like especially last week, I cried literally every single day. And I've been doing that for quite some time now. Like even before my father passed away, I literally cry every day. It's like a part of my life. Like if I cut on any worship music or if I think about something, sometimes it's happy tears though. It's not always bad. Like I don't sit here and just be sad every day. Some days I'm sad. I'm real sad some days. And it'd be different reasons. Like it might just be, I might be thinking about my dad, or I might just be thinking about my life, like, because I want to please God so bad that I'll feel bad about something I might have done, like over the weekend, like just taking a drink, or just feeling like I'm not doing everything right. I'm really, really hard on myself. So that's one thing that I'm learning about myself, is that I got to be a little more kind to who I am, because I'm doing a great job. And so I had to remind myself that I'm doing a great job, and it's okay to not do everything right, because God already knew that when he recorded our lives in his book. He already knew the days that I wasn't going to do the right things. He already knew the days you weren't going to do the right things. He knows everything. So even the things that we do in secret. So it's like, now I'm learning to be more honest with him. And that's why I'm excited about my walk with God. Like, I'm able to be honest and tell him, like, today I'm just really sad, God. I'm sad. Or today I'm really, really happy, God. Thank you. Whatever the emotion is, I'm real honest about it. So I kind of thought I was a little crazy, with all the crying. I was like, I might have to go, see somebody or get checked out, because I cry every day. But what I noticed is that when I cry, I feel 100% better. Like, that is one good stress reliever right there. It's like you got to do a real good ugly one too. Like, where you like sniffling and everything, you just like a little kid. You can't even get the words out. When I have those cries, I just start feeling a whole lot better. It's like, it's a part of me. And so, of course, I had to do some research. So I went on, first I went to Google, because I just wanted to see like what people saying about when you cry every day. So I went to a website called healthline.com, and it gave me some background. Well, not necessarily background, but it gave me some statistics of how much people cry. But this was actually from 2018, so I'm sure that there are some new statistics now. But this one talks about women, how much we cry. It says that women cry 5.3 times per month. And then it says that men cry 1.3 times per month. The average crying session is 8 minutes. And this came from the website. So I was like, well, I don't cry 8 minutes. I might cry a little more than 8 minutes some days, and then some days it might be a little less than 8 minutes. But I definitely know that I exceed that 5.3 times per month. But what I was shocked about was the men, because a lot of men don't really cry, and then they don't really show us that they're crying. So let me just tell y'all that these men are really crying. I mean, it's only one time, 1.3 times per month, but check on them. Make sure they're okay. It might be, maybe they're crying happy tears. They might be crying sad tears. I'm not sure, but check on them. And then so I had to go to the Bible, of course, because that's the number one source of any information. You could find any and everything in the Bible. So the first place that I went to was Joseph's story. And it's similar to mine. I mean, he lost his dad, and, he wept. But it was amazing to know how many days he cried, and how many days the people, all the Egyptians, how long they mourned. They mourned for 70 whole days. And Joseph cried he had to, when they did the embalming back then, it took 40 days, which is amazing to me. But I'm sure he cried that whole 40 days, and then he cried the 70 days with them. So it made me just feel a whole lot better to know that I'm not the only one to cry. But this reading comes from Genesis 50 verses 1 through 11. And it says, Joseph threw himself on his father and wept over him and kissed him. Then Joseph told the physicians who served him to embalm his father's body. So Jacob was embalmed. The embalming process took the usual 40 days, and the Egyptians mourned his death, and they mourned for 70 days. When the period of mourning was over, Joseph approached Pharaoh's advisors and said, "Please do me this favor and speak to Pharaoh on my behalf. Tell him that my father made me swear on an oath. He said to me, 'Listen, I'm about to die. Take my body back to the land of Canaan and bury me in the tomb I prepared for myself.